All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to announce the exhibition match between Jincrypt and Pause. Tonight's gonna be a good one. How are you feeling, Hellslayer?
I'm feeling good right now. This is actually a very interesting matchup between the two. Wait, hold on. Uh, are we still in lobby?
Yeah, let me invite you back. And Ken, how are you feeling today? How are you feeling about this StarCraft 2 match? It's gonna be intense.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, I heard all about this rivalry that's been going on for ages, so I'm expecting some really incredibly high level play and
Definitely
maybe
for
some
ages, the past
unorthodox
three
gameplay
days.
here. So I can't
All
wait
right.
to get this started.
Yep, and it looks like the first map will be Catalyst LE. Which is a map played in a lot of leagues, and hopefully they have some, strategies made for this map. And
So for
here,
those watching at home who aren't too familiar with StarCraft, could you explain a bit more about this map and how it works and what are the sort of typical strategies that you would see on this map?
well, usually on this map you have a whole bunch of expansions, right? It's not one of those small ones; it's one of those mid-sized ones. So usually you can do timing pushes. You can play any type of style you want. Actually, you can play aggressive or you can play macro style. So hopefully we'll see that from them. And here we go. Let's start the game.
Everyone's full names are showing.
All right, here we go. All right, so for the folks at home who don't know, each map has a specific nuances to them. So there are benefits and um, basically there are benefits to different races. So about Catalyst LE, Trevor or Loon, what can you tell us about Catalyst LE? What races are good? What are the
Wait,
advantages?
wait. Let's introduce them first. Jincrypt.
All right, in the blue trunks, we have Balls You Jincrypt. And in the purple trunks, we have Honey.
Wait, as going back to what you're saying, if you look at this map, basically you start expanding from left to right as the Protoss. As a Zerg, you expand from right to left, and you're you're s- you're basically expanding away from your enemy, and that works in the favor of Zerg because if you spread your creep properly, you should be able to see them coming and react appropriately. But if we see here, they're just macroing up, just pretty normal.
And we see Jin sending out a probe to sort of check out what's going on and scope to get an idea of the opponent's base. Is that correct?
Actually, yeah, that's a really early one. I wonder what he's planning to do. Is this some sort of cheese? What is he doing? Looks like it's just a normal scout because he's just prodding around the edge right now. I was expecting him to put a pylon and like start doing some forge and like cannon rush, but
Okay, well he parked himself there, so it looks like he's up to some funny business, but we'll see what he has planned.
I'm not sure Honey even knows about this. This looks like a
Slightly
pretty
out of
good
view.
opening from Honey as well. Opening up with a spawning pool, making gas, hopefully getting that link speed early. But if you see, there's a drone going to the left. I wonder what this drone is doing. Is she confused where the other spawn is?
It seems like it. I mean, she sent out one scout so far,
Oh
so
my god, it's a sneaky
oh,
hatch. Oh my god, that's so cool. I didn't expect to see this one from coming out of Honey. If if Jincrypt doesn't scout this, he might be in deep trouble.
So why is that, Loon? What makes this sneaky hatch different than if she had expanded right beside her main base?
Well, usually you would expand right here, right next to the main base, so
Yeah.
they the Protoss would be able to see that, and that's the normal opening because it's easier to protect. If Jin actually goes all the way to this corner, there's no way that Honey will be able to protect this properly. And here we go. Here's the first Zealot. Zealot harassment was pretty normal in Wings of Liberty, but now it's the Legacy of the Void, and I like seeing a comeback with this strategy. Alright, and let's not forget our sponsors. Oh man, I am so thirsty right now. Do you know what I could drink right now? Hellslayer.
What would you like?
What could you drink right now, Loon?
I could drink a whole can of Coke. Open happiness.
Oh, that sounds delicious. I would love a nice, refreshing Coca-Cola Classic.
And do you know what else sounds delicious?
What else sounds delicious, Loon?
Boom Chicka Pop Popcorn. Sponsoring this exhibition match for Jin and Honey. Alright, and back to the game. Looks like they're just both intending not to attack each other until like maybe 20 minutes in. It's like we're playing Zero Clutter right now.
And I would think that's sort of a very unorthodox high-level play. Is that right? To see two people just sort of chilling for the first 20 minutes of a match.
That is very unorthodox for sure. Looking at Jin, usually if you're on a 1 base, you should be attacking fairly soon already, and he does have 3 gateways, so that looks like that's his plan. He looks like he's going back to the Wings of Liberty 3 gate, which I'm not sure is a thing. But for sure, looking at Honey's unit count right now, there aren't too many units out there to defend this. It could get ugly. But it's like Honey is psychic. For some reason, she's making some spine crawlers at her base to protect.
Interesting. So, for those who aren't familiar with Zerg units, what exactly are spine crawlers and what are they typically used for?
Well, those spine crawlers are basically structures, more or less, that can root and unroot on creep only. And they're very powerful defensive units. They're not made to attack at all. They're made to defend your bases. Well, it looks like Jin is planning to finish this upgrade before he does an all-out attack. Adding a 4th gate to his structures. Where is his pylon? Oh, there is his pylon. Just outside the natural, and he's warping in! Alright, 4 stalkers. Let's see what they're made
It does
of.
look like he's setting up for an offensive right now, but it still seems like he's unaware of Honey's secondary base. Is that right?
Yeah, for sure. It looks like it's pretty healthy right now. Let's see what they're up to. Looks like the +1 attack just finished for Jin. And Honey is completely unaware of what's happening right now. Just outside his base is a huge army. And I'm not sure she can defend this attack, actually. They're pretty similar in supply, though.
Well, the interesting thing there is that the placement of Honey's spine crawlers are very, very far back. They won't be able to defend this ramp. It only seems that one of the spine crawlers is able to reach, but looks like they'll be able to get 1 casualty. Oh, 1 zealot goes down.
And 10 Zerglings are coming out. Let's see what they can do.
Oh, that spine crawler is doing work. It took out 1 zealot and 1 stalker, but this.
Whoa! What a brave drone. Here we go. The Zerglings have spawned. Let's see if Honey can defend this.
He's got some impressive micro from Jincrypt, moving his stalkers and his zealots back and forth, and it looks like this push is going to be successful. Gets right into the drone line. Oh, Honey is losing so many resources here. Oh, is this it for Honey? Is she going to be able to push back on this? She needs to buy more time. She needs to build more Zerglings to stop this push.
And looking at it, no drones and all the Zerglings just died. I'm not sure she can last any longer. We should be seeing GG soon.
But don't forget, she still has the secondary base, so what could she possibly pull out?
That's a good point. Let's see how this is going. 6
And
drones.
still, Jincrypt is unaware of this, so he's probably a little confused as to what's going on right now.
That is true. When you lose your hatchery or your main base, you are supposed to get revealed. So, oh wait, those drones might have just revealed where they're coming from.
Oh, because they automatically go to another base's
Well,
resources.
it still
It
looks like
might have revealed
he's
her.
unaware of the location.
He's probably scratching his head right now. But it looks like Jincrypt actually expanded behind this, so it's an all-in, but I guess with a safe economic, backfall. And he's searching for them. Wonder if he'll find them.
She doesn't have much time. What can she possibly pull out?
Oh, it looks like those 4 stalkers are heading straight towards the bottom left. And they stopped. I lied.
Oh, those stalkers though, they smell blood in the water,
And there
and
we go.
he
There we go.
sees it.
Where are the Zerglings?
Alright,
Where are the
here they
Zerglings?
come. Zerglings are here, and they are going in. Oh, unfortunately, Honey did not research Zergling speed, so the rat will be unsuccessful. Oh, looks like she's splitting her forces for some reason, and oh, unfortunately, half of her Zerglings die. And as Loon has said before, it looks like it will be GG soon. But in light of this, let's talk about this matchup. Loon, what is Honey's key to coming back? What does a Zerg need to win against Protoss?
I'm going to say next game she should probably scout what build Jincrypt is going. She actually had no idea and was going blind the entire time. Jincrypt was on one base for a very, very long time, which is a huge warning sign. You should be creating units like crazy. As long as you have 2 or 3 more bases behind, you should win it. More spine crawlers, more zerglings, and like you said, speed is pretty important in this matchup. And it looks like there's a third hatchery going up on the top right. So she's not done yet. At 0, or oh wait, this is literally
it looks like-
and she didn't even say GG. All right, so what do you guys think?
Well, for me, that was a rather interesting match. As being someone not too familiar with the game, it seemed like there was 2 very different strategies going in there. But it did definitely seem like the biggest downfall of Honey was that she was not aware of what was going on around her.
All right, and I'm going to load the next map up for us, which is Acid Plant LE, which is another map that is being played in the current map rotation on the ladder. Just have to wait for everyone to accept it or everyone to leave the game.
So, from what you've seen so far, how does this sort of line up with your expectations of what you were going to see in this match?
I mean, I can't say I'm too surprised at the outcome, and they both definitely look very slow. But this is actually more interesting than I thought it would be.
But slow is not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, in a game like this, it's not always about speed. You can play smart, but you don't have to play fast.
For sure, if you play more efficient, you can win out these games. And waiting for Ken to join.
I definitely agree with what you said, Loon. It's because although it wasn't meeting expectations, the builds and their movement, especially around the map, definitely looked a lot tidier than we expected.
Hey, Ken, are you in a game right now?
I didn't do anything.
Did you? You have to leave your game.
Oh, I see.
And looks like Jincrypt is going to switch to red Protoss, the power Protoss. Are you still in your game?
How do I leave my game?
Press F10.
I see a menu, and the only option is return to game.
Score screen.
Oh yes, score screen.
Okay, I see.
There we go. So this is a best of 3, right? And Jincrypt is up 1-0 at the moment. Let me just make sure that they are ready. Are you two ready?
Yeah, if people aren't commentating, they should leave the observer thing because it's lagging us too.
Oh, I didn't see any lag.
Yeah,
Oh.
it wasn't lagging.
Okay, I don't know.
Okay, all right.
I like for 1 second I was like, "Ay!"
Okay, it looks like Honey was having lag issues as well. But let's see. I'm going to start the game. Wait, but first, messages from our sponsors. Wait, not a message, but I'm just going to show our sponsor. BO3, I think. Free your pores. I've used their nose strips from a magazine that I got from these theaters. I can't say it worked that well. And
But
we're
they're
starting.
sponsoring us, so
They're
thank
awesome.
you to Biore.
They are awesome. Thank you.
All right, during the loading screen, Noon, tell us a little about Acid Plant LE. What kind of tricks or what kind of strategies should we see on this map here?
So compared to the last one, I'd say my experience from ladder tells me that the third base is actually kind of hard to take as any race. Because if you look, the second base is easy. The third base is either to like the left or right, but very far from your natural. So you sort of have to have a solid defense in order to take it, which actually works in favor of the Protoss because the Zerg normally likes to expand a lot. But we'll see if we even get to a third and fourth base.
All right, but
And
hold
we're
on,
seeing a
let's
lot of
go with
trash
the
talk here.
introduction. In the red trunks, we have Balls You Jincrypt. And in the blue trunks, we have Honey.
Ooh, we just start off the game. And it looks like it's another early scout from Jincrypt again.
But definitely on this side, looks like the spawning pool came a bit earlier for Honey this time.
Yeah, I believe last time Honey got a gas with that, right? But she didn't get
Yes.
the link speed anyway. Oh, and there's also a difference in Jincrypt's build. He's building on the low ground this time.
So for the folks at home, tell us why having only one base is causing a person to go a certain strategy rather than expanding into multiple bases.
Well, usually if you're expanding, then that means you're going for resources. You're spending resources on getting more resources, which is an investment, right? But if you're going only one base, you have a limited supply of resources and a limited time before the other person who expands overwhelms you with their money. So when you do go one base, you have to tech up and you have to do some. You have to do damage, otherwise it's not worth it at all. Ooh, there's a Roach Warren.
Oh,
If-
but that is very interesting because with the Roach Warren, this time Honey definitely needs that extractor though, which she does not have.
Well, she'll probably find out. If she does go roaches and Jincrypt does another gateway push, for sure the roaches will fare a lot better than last time compared to just speedless lings. Ooh, bottom left.
We have another sneaky hatchery. This might be a recurring theme for this series.
Looks like she really likes that bottom left expansion and sneaky expansions for sure. Oh, hopefully she figures out that Roach Warren will need gas.
And a cheeky comment by Balls You Jincrypt.
Wait.
He's not talking about any butt cracks or anything. He's talking about a crack in the defense of his base, where
Where is it?
I believe it's below the pylon.
Or
right
I
under
guess at the
the
top too. Like the
gateway.
Zerglings can just get it at the top.
That is
Oh.
very true.
And here we go. Oh wait, where's she sending those Zerglings?
Left base.
Ah, maybe it was a full. No, that doesn't make sense. I don't know why they actually wrote it that way. This is a pretty safe defense from Jincrypt though. There's no way those Zerglings will get by.
Oh, if you would look at Honey's main base, it looks like she forgot to build the extractor because she did send 3 drones towards it. Oh, a critical mistake by Honey because she has drones beside the gas resources, but she didn't make an extractor. And you, for the folks at home, cannot get gas from a resource where you did not build from. Oh, looks like she finally noticed, and she is currently building it now.
Hopefully she builds the second one as well. She's floating a lot of money, and she really needs that gas to make those stronger units. And here we go. Looks like she's sacking that Overlord.
She wants that information this time. She knows that last time, no idea what Jincrypt was doing. So Honey is getting that information just for a Overlord's life.
And she basically saw everything. She saw the Twilight Council. She saw it was chrono boosted, and basically Jincrypt's entire army. She should know what to expect.
Yeah, so that seemed like a very smart move on her part. Something that she learned from the last match. But it does seem like not much is going on in her second base. Like what would you recommend she should be doing there?
Well, for sure she should be droning up super heavily with the second hatchery. Her main base is pretty filled, but it looks like she might have forgotten to hotkey this one. Oh, she's selecting it right now. Let's go over to the first person view of Honey. Let's see what she's doing. She's over at her sneaky expansion actually, making a queen and making some drones. Oh! Are those DTs I see?
Those are DTs, and looks like Honey was able to spot the Dark Council being built, but whether she's going to respond to that, don't know yet.
Well, unless she has... Actually, she doesn't have an evolution chamber for any spore crawlers. I think this is going to do huge damage.
Oh, and unfortunately, she might not be aware that upgrading a hatchery to a layer lets Overlords get the upgrade to be able to see invisible units. Right now, she's completely in the dark. And
it looks like Jincrypt went directly to the corner base. Somehow psychic and knowing that she has a base there. She's
the same spot that she did the second base in the first match, so
right. She's looking at it right now. She's looking at the DTs right now, but I'm not sure she knows what to do.
So Ken, as a new player to StarCraft, what is your opinion on those Dark Templars doing damage?
Wait, what is that pylon?
Well, right now these Dark Templars, I assume that's what you meant by DET, because again I'm not familiar.
Yes.
I guess they are invisible to the other player.
Yep, that's right. All they see are squigglies actually. It's pretty sad.
Yeah, to me that sounds like a very powerful unit. I mean, what is the typical defense against something like that?
Well, usually there are spore crawlers which can be made with a drone or an overseer, which as Hellslayer mentioned, can turn into an overseer and see invisible units. Dark Templars are like very high risk, high reward type of units because they deal a bunch of damage, but they also die very, very quickly, and they are very high cost for resources, especially the gas. So if you can see it,
definitely seems like that play paid off for Jincrypt.
For sure, it eliminated one of the hatcheries, and Honey's back down to one base.
Oh, well, it seems like she just expanded again to the top right corner.
And something interesting is, Loon, I'd like you to take a look at the upgrades tab.
Is that a tab? Okay, I see it.
Yes, currently, Honey is floating almost no upgrades, while Jincrypt, he's got his Warp Gate, he's got Blink, he's got Ground Weapons level 1, and he's got the Shadow Stride for his Dark Templars. So I think in terms of just having a heavy arsenal, Jincrypt is definitely way in the lead.
Wait, what is Shadow Stride? Oh, it's like a blink. That is so cheap. I've never seen that before. In my latter games, I haven't seen a Dark Templar. Wait, no, that's a lie. I haven't seen them use this blink though. Really, he could just stroll up.
The Dark Templars have been working out. They've been learning from what was the name? Oh, why can't I remember?
Zeratul.
Yeah, they've been learning from Zeratul. They've been working out.
Jincrypt sort of has army all over the place right now, and he's making a third base. There we go.
Yeah,
And
he just finished his third nexus right beside Honey's expansion.
that's a little awkward. Oh, and she's sending a whole bunch of drones over. Pretty efficient. They're actually very similar in supply. In fact, Honey's higher supply count than Jincrypt. Her macro is on fire right now.
So now that she's sort of had an idea of what Jincrypt is up to, what do you think would be her best move with this expansion of hers?
Well, supposedly, a Zerg is meant to overwhelm their opponents with the amount of units, right? So you expand a lot. You get a whole bunch of resources and you just throw yourselves at the enemies and you just remake your entire army again. You throw yourself again. So usually that's the Zerg style. So with this amount of lings, it's not quite enough, but I mean the idea is there.
For you guys at home who are just starting this game, most other races like Protoss and Terran, they have to make units from specific buildings. But for Zerg, they have their main building, which is a hatchery, and they've got those little worms, the larva, and they can make all of the different types of Zerg units from there, except for the Queen. So what Loon was explaining earlier is that you can save up a bunch of those larvas and then throw your army at them, and then suddenly make a ton of units with all the larvae that you've saved up.
And here
So
is
you
a
can sort
unit.
of do a split-second, last-minute decision to change the composition of your army depending on what you need at that particular moment.
Exactly, actually, that's a super powerful strategy. Basically, you build a whole bunch of units, the enemies will create units that counter that unit, but then the next second you make a whole bunch of different units right after your swarm dies, basically. But I just wanted to point out that at the main nexus, there's actually a mothership core being made. Or not a mothership core, an actual mothership. I haven't seen that unit in ages.
So for those who aren't in the know, what exactly are motherships and what can they do?
The mothership is probably the most powerful air unit in the Protoss army. Everything under the mothership becomes invisible. So you thought those Dark Templar were causing trouble? Everything under the mothership will now cause trouble. Funnily enough, Honey is actually doing pretty well with the macro, keeping up with Jincrypt. Jin just has a tiny bit better strategy though. I'm not sure she knows what to do against this invisible unit. Now I'm wondering what she's saying on the other channel. Let me just take a quick look.
Okay, well.
Alright, I didn't
looks like
catch
she's
very
doing
much.
some pretty serious damage.
Jincrypt was just giggling a little bit. And this is a pretty hard counter. The Colossus is just shredding those Zerglings like they were nothing.
And when you say hard counter, Luke, what does that mean?
Well, Zerglings are very, very small units, and they have very low hit points. Colossus deal their damage in a small radius, so it gets a lot of Zerglings, and they're fairly powerful as well. They actually even do extra damage versus light units, which a Zergling is. Oh man, and just like that, Honey's reduced back to 21 supply. Wonder what she's up to right now. She's making a whole bunch of Zerglings.
And that does not spell very well for her army composition, because you just explained that those Colossus are going to shred those Zerglings.
Yep, and it looks like he's gearing up for an attack right now. The Dark Templar Colossus combo.
So what units should she be spitting out to counter an army like that?
So, believe it or not, Colossus are so tall, they're actually considered air units and ground units. So, there's anti-air that you could use, like Corruptors, or you could overwhelm them with ground units as well. But most of the time, if you want to be efficient, it is the Corruptor, which I'm not sure she has access to at the moment, since she doesn't have a Spire. And look, she's finally expanding out her natural. Oh, and as you can see, everything is invisible. I'm going to say this is game. Wait, is this Mercy? What is going on? This, oh my god, this is just straight up BM. That's what this is.
You should go check the channel. I bet someone's screaming.
Okay, let's all just move in there. Wait,
Who's lagging?
is
What?
Who's lagging?
Trevor, did I put up a good fight?
no, that wasn't too bad actually. Your supply was actually pretty damn close. I'm guessing you don't know how to deal with invisible stuff.
No,
I tried to
do
walk
not
this
know
over
I
and then I started running over.
And yeah,
Okay.
and it's all over.
I was just like, wait, what's hitting me? I don't even know that you have invisible units. What?
I'm just gonna say, Jincrypt said that he is on level playing field, but let me show you his profile right now. Apparently, Jincrypt has never played a game. But let us look right here. He's once 1v1 Diamond League, and he has a total of 100 or 1,157 total career games.
You fucking dickhead.
Does that take into account like MTD?
This is like my 10th
I
game
think-
ever.
I think it's team and 1v1, like no any type of ladder game.
Well, team doesn't.
Oh,
team
that's
doesn't
so
count.
funny. That's
Anyways,
so funny.
thank you guys for tuning in, and I'd like to thank our sponsors again. Coca-Cola, open happiness.
You're dead to me.
Boom
We're
chicka
breaking
pop.
up. We're breaking
Popcorn.
up. We're done for. You lied to me.
And Biore. Alright, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Hellslayer and Kenneth.
Thanks for
And
having us.
No
and hope you guys
problem.
all enjoyed this epic match.
This is